Hi, welcome back to another day in the life of a Midwest princess. Sorry, I forgot how to say that. It's Danielle. I am about to be on my way to the Galentine's event at my friend's family's vegan juicery or whatever. Gonna get an astrology reading, have a mocktail, support their event. So this is what I'm wearing. I really did want to do like a little cutesy pinky outfit, but I just don't really have stuff like that. I tried the one dress, it wasn't doing it for me. So instead I guess I'm going with a little bit of vampy. It's not a black shirt, it's like a wine shirt. I did my makeup kind of pinky. I got the leather pants, I don't know. I'm not feeling like super slim today, but it is what it is. I cannot waste any more time trying to get dressed for this. In reality, nobody cares. Not even me that much. And I'm gonna have my jacket on anyway. And this is the rest of the look. Absolutely nothing crazy. I wear these pieces all the time. Just throw on my whatever everyday jacket, bag. Got my baggie of carrots because I don't know if they're serving food, but I gotta roll because I wanna be heading back by about 7 so that I don't get home super late. All right, and this is the makeup. I figured I'd kind of make an effort so anybody could see it. Just kind of like a pinky, rosy look, shimmery, you know, trying to keep it cute or whatever. It's snowing outside. Luckily, it's not as cold as I thought it was about to be, but it's still not like amazing out here. But it's okay. We're gonna go do something fun. We're gonna be supportive for other people's events. And I'm very interested in the astrology reading. I don't know if you guys look into your astrology stuff. I guess I am kind of woo-woo in that way. I use the app The Pattern, and honestly, if you've never used that app, I would recommend signing up for it. It does talk about your natal chart and the aspects and the houses and all that stuff, and I don't know, man, it's kind of right on the money, but let's get going. All right, so I'm on the way, and I guess I'm gonna do a little car vlog because I had a thought. Side note, it's like a totally different world over here on this highway. It was so gray and looked like it was about to be dark outside in 5 seconds where I live. Over in downtown Cleveland, it's like a periwinkle sky. But anyway, my thought was about drinking culture and how crazy it is because they're gonna be serving mocktails at this event, and I love that. Like, I love a mocktail. As you know, or if you don't know, I don't drink, I haven't drank for 2 years, and I have no plans of going back. I just kind of tapered off naturally, so, you know, just not part of my lifestyle. But I love a fun beverage. That's why I cannot give up my ritualistic coffee, except now decaf coffee in the morning. I do like my little chai lattes. I like getting those Hi-Os, which are non-alcoholic drinks that do kind of give you like a floaty feeling as described on the label, and they do, and I like that. I don't want to be drunk, but like a little floaty from some extracts, sure, sounds great. But as far as the whole drinking culture thing, I was just reflecting on how you go out, and I would go out, and it would be so stupid because you would go out and you would be wanting to drink, right? And so you would be drinking and you'd be spending your money on drinking, and your whole thing that you're thinking the whole time is like, okay, I can only have one more. I have to stop after whatever because I can't get too drunk because I don't want to die on my way home. Maybe it's different where you live, but here in Ohio, most people are planning on driving home. As awful and as crazy as that is, they just are. It's not like people don't take Ubers, but they're only going to take an Uber if they have to. If they can get away with driving, they're driving, because this is a state where, for the most part, you drive everywhere. You kind of have to because that's the infrastructure. So, you know, there's towns and there's people who either never learned to drive or can't afford to drive, and they will Uber everywhere because they have to. But even them, if they're going out with people that drive, they're catching that ride. They don't want to spend the money on the Uber. So everybody just gambles with their life literally every time they go out. It's nuts. And there's multiple reasons why I stopped drinking, but there's so many more reasons why I'll never start drinking again. And I guess you could boil it down to, I actually care about myself now. Like, I very highly prioritize my well-being. And so many different things go into that. Like, if I plan on being here for a long time and I want to thrive and I want to do better and I want to grow in a positive way, I need to have good finances. You know what is a colossal waste of money? Your addictions. And if your addiction is alcohol, not only is it really expensive to be a drunk, and that's not even just the alcohol. I mean, if you're paying for alcohol, if you are paying for the Ubers, if you end up having to pay for your health, if you end up having to pay because you got in trouble. I got a DUI when I was 21. Like, I was illegally drinking for 4 months and got a DUI. Crazy. And it does make me just kind of wonder about my parents, because I'm like, do you guys even love me? And they do. They love me in the way that they know how, right? Isn't that always the case? I remember when I told my dad, though, that I got a DUI. And because I had to confess it to him, I got a DUI in his car. And if I could have gotten it out of the impound lot without him, he would have never known, because I had so much shame. Why did I have so much shame? Because that's shameful to begin with. Like, what an irresponsible, self-destructive thing to do, to drink and drive. Honestly, to drink, period. But to drink and drive, and of course that was not the first time I ever did it. And anybody who tells you that they got a DUI or they got in trouble the first time they did anything is a liar. Liar! Liar! You're a liar! No, it's not. No, it's not. So, I was drinking and driving before I turned 21, that's for sure. Yep. Sorry, God. Sorry, Jesus. I say it kind of in a joking way right now, but like, I really am sorry. It's horrible. It's many horrible things that I did in my past. So selfish, so reckless. Luckily, I never hurt anybody. I only hurt myself with the drinking, like the hangovers and the social choices that I made. Just, you know, I hurt my ego and my dignity, and I did hurt some of my relationships, but you know what? Those were terrible relationships anyway, because they were people in the gutter with me. Those never had a chance. Because you know what? I only know one person from my drinking days who doesn't really drink anymore, and that was Jess. I'm not sure how much I've talked about Jess on here, but I think she might have drank even more than I did. Actually, you know what? If I were to reflect on the stories that she told me, she definitely did. She was drinking in an even worse way than me, but that's neither here nor there. We were drinking buddies. I've known Jess since high school. And I don't think that she's as militant as me about not drinking. Like, there have been a couple of occasions over the years where, I don't know, she was like really bummed or something and turned to alcohol. And I was always so appalled when she told me. And I tried not to be judgmental, but like, I was just so concerned. And I wasn't gonna be like, oh, it's okay, it's only one time. I mean, and that may be true. I wasn't going to like vocalize that though, because I didn't want to reinforce that it was an okay way to deal with your problems. Like, if you're gonna drink, and I also, even though I think that alcohol is a waste in general, a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of your energy, a waste of your health, a waste of your beauty, a waste of your safety, like a waste of your protection, I guess, because it puts you in danger every time that you do it. If you're gonna drink, then okay. Like, I don't demonize responsible, social, like fun drinking. You know, you want to have a drink when you're out celebrating something. I get it. I get it. That first sip, I haven't thought about it in a long time because it's so outside of my day-to-day. Like, I don't think about alcohol. But when I do, that first sip is magical. It's like a warm, gut-tingling hug. Like, it feels good. Nothing feels like that first sip. And that first drink is amazing. And then things start to get a little dicey after the first drink in my book, because, I mean, you really do start to feel it, whatever you're going to feel in the second drink. But, I don't know. You feel it more dramatically And maybe some people like that more, but for me, back in my drinking days, it was like the first drink and the first sip was you lifting off the ground just ever so slightly, like you were about to start levitating. And then as you get halfway through it, your feet are like just off the ground, like you are taking flight. And then by the time you get to the second drink, I just feel like you're starting to fly. And since you're starting to fly, like the stakes have raised, you're kind of like less in control. And then it just starts going faster and faster and faster. And as you increase the speed on those wings, things get a little scarier. You don't really always know what's gonna happen. So basically, don't drink and drive. And I love that I can just go out to a place now, no matter what I'm doing. If I do go to a restaurant, if I do go to a restaurant that like straight up has a bar too, and they serve a lot of drinks. If I go to a show, a concert, an event, I just know that I'm not gonna drink. And because I know that I'm not gonna drink, I have this sense of safety always, because that's something that I don't have to worry about. And I don't have to play that game of like, okay, well, you're just gonna have one. But then you have the one, and you know, you start to lift off. You're starting to feel pretty good, pretty warm, pretty loose, pretty limber. And you think that you're just this social savant and everybody loves you. Maybe you're dancing a little bit. I'd rather fight through the awkward and just like appreciate and be proud of myself for putting myself out there sober, and to adjust and become somebody. And I for the most part, I feel like I already am. In the past 2 years,
in half a mile,
professional YouTube problems. My phone stopped me and I had to delete some storage. Luckily, I already had that ready to go, and I just had to click finito on the trash button. And I could have stopped there and just left it, but I kind of just wanted to wrap that up. I'm here for personal growth, and I just don't feel like you grow in the addiction state. Like, how could you? You're so focused on whatever your addiction is. And if I want to put myself in danger, I'm gonna get something out of it, okay? I'm gonna feel unsafe and wild and reckless from raw dogging this life. And that reminds me, the reason that I use the term raw dog, why it's on my mind, is because I was at work the other day, and I was standing there talking to Tiffany, and there are these two shady little kids walking around, and I finally noticed what was on the kitty's hoodie. That hoodie said professional raw dogger. Hi. We're gonna pretend that this is still the same day. Did not do any kind of follow-up from the Galentine's event, but it was good. I got a reading done, as I mentioned. That offered a lot of validation, confirmation, picked up on a couple more things, and I'm gonna keep those in the back of my mind. I'm glad that I went, and I would go to future ones. And also, the activity of this one was that you made a charm, bracelet, or necklace. I love it. I decided to do mixed metals because I'm always wearing either silver, gold, or black. That's the jewelry I have. So this ties into all of my jewelry. So we have a silver bracelet, and then all the charms are gold and black, and we have like crosses and stars and hearts and lips, and I just love the vibe of those. And then in the center, it's a lipstick, and I love just how like dainty and whimsical it sounds when it's just kind of softly jingling. So
I think that it's gonna be a piece that I'll wear a lot, if not every day, because it's kind of like a token of all of the things from my reading, like a reminder. So I want to keep those in mind because I already knew that this was going to be a big year for me, but she was like, hell yeah, it is. You're not even going to recognize yourself next year. And I believe it because of all of the growth that I've been in. Anyhow, and things are moving fast. Like, we went from talking about having offsite events to being scheduled for offsite events and just stuff like that. So I'm here for it, but I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my coffee, and then it's time to start today and pretend like I didn't film it all. It's, totally new vlog. All right.